No, I'm just playing. All right. What's good, y'all? We're getting live. Everyone's filtering in. This is Foate the Goat, and I am here today with Adrienne. What's up, Adrienne?
Not much. What's up? I'm
Thank you
excited to be
for,
here.
yeah, thank you for coming in. My usual, Kristen, she's off having fun in Universal, so I totally get it. I'm not as fun as Universal, so gotta have fun. And Adrienne is a big Traitors fan. I mean, let's jump right into the first three episodes since we're not going to really cover them. I mean, what did you think going into this series of episodes? Like, how has Traitors been going on for you?
So I was really disappointed after the first three episodes because the people I was most excited to see play this season were Ian Terry and Rob C.
Mm,
And the fact that they were the first two boots, I was like, cancel the season already. Like, I'm over it. I was so upset. Um, I thought Ian had so much potential to be on the show. I feel like Big Brother players in the past have historically overplayed, and I felt like Ian would actually probably be pretty good at this game. I just had high expectations for him, and then like didn't even get to see if I was right because he was just gone. Um,
yeah,
and then Donna Kelsey, I'm a Swiftie, so obviously I was excited to see her play, but then that didn't work out either. So I was like, I just was fearful that it was going to be just kick off all the gamers right off the bat, and they're the people I'm usually most excited to see on these shows.
mm-hmm.
So I think it turned it around a little bit, 4 and 5 for me though.
Yeah. I think you pretty much cover like 80% of what Kristen and I kind of talked about in the last episode because we're gamer fans. I mean, we watch these shows, and Traders is a game, so it's fun to see these gamers get on. But it almost was a slap in the face to us as gamer viewers because they just all kind of got blown out. But I think that's what this cast is kind of about. They're kind of more
Mm-hmm.
about what's the threat, and there wasn't too many threats at the start of this game, so like they
Yeah.
kind of just went, oh, maybe it's a gamer, or let's get rid of a gamer now so we don't have to worry about it.
And at first I was disappointed that there wasn't a gamer as a trader, but
Mm.
now I actually think it's a good thing because they are targeting all the gamers. Like I think the chances that they'd get a trader would have been a lot higher, and they seem to be continuing on that path. Like I think Jam Jam's name has been out at every single round table, and somehow he's still there. But
Yeah, we're
I think
definitely
it's
going to talk
probably
about a
for the
few
best.
of these points because I feel like my views have massively changed from the first recording to this one, and we're definitely going to talk about it because I feel like half this cast is absolutely not beneficial at all to helping find the
Mm-hmm.
traders, and then there's, I won't even say another half, I'll say a portion of this cast is, and I do think these traders are doing really good. Like this, I think this is a good group of traders.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
So I want to start off with, obviously episode 4 starts off with the murders. Um, Eric and Ron definitely were not on my radar to be murdered, and obviously they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have an inkling if you thought it was going to be Carolyn or Kristen? Because in my view, I thought it was going to be Kristen.
I did too. I thought so too. But I think going for Carolyn was actually smart.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
because I think just targeting a housewife at this point, just given the sheer numbers, is smart. But I think Kristen is a smarter player and a bigger
Mm-hmm.
threat long term. So I was surprised they decided not to go in that direction. But
So that was my big point too. I thought Carolyn was a little careless, and I thought
mhm.
Kristen was very smart and strategical, and she's someone who could figure it out. Now, I do like that they went for Carolyn though, and I'm glad they challenged what my perception was going to be because Carolyn was, she's a big talker. She's a housewife. I really do think that that would have helped find a trader, right? Like, oh, the housewives are all sticking in the game, and there's two of them as traders, so you kind of do need to like ice one out to kind of throw off that just that flag that might wave at some point. Like, oh wow, usually all the housewives are gone.
Yeah, I agree.
But I am glad Kristen stayed because I'm a big fan of Kristen. I like when like you go into these games and you fan of gamers, right? But then there's a
Hmm.
few that you are also just a fan of, and like Kristen's one of those for me because I like watching the cooking shows. So it was just it's nice that I can at least have someone that's hanging on, whereas
Yeah.
a lot of my other favorites have. We'll talk about my other
Mhm.
favorite that gets killed here soon, or sent out the door here soon. But
Yeah,
yeah.
she was somebody I had not heard of going into the season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really watch a lot of cooking shows, but she has exceeded my expectations so far. She has like that gamer mentality, even though she wasn't on like a
Right.
strategy based show.
Yeah. So we kind of hurry up into the morning. Everyone's getting to breakfast, and they throw in the Eric comment that he says in his confessional, oh, I heard that someone laughed while they were out there, and that's going to come into a huge play later on in this episode. So just wanted to throw out there. It starts off right here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what did you kind of think about before the challenge? Because they kind of cemented what the roundtable was going to kind of look like. Like Colton kind of is like gunning Tiffany's name out there, like, oh, it's her.
Mm-hmm.
She's telling people like the stage of what we need to do. She's being very strategic, like about this. This is traitor activity. Did you kind of get that vibe from a viewer's perspective, or do you think Colton was kind of
No, I
too
feel like
much?
Colton is pointing a lot of fingers that and like his logic behind it doesn't really line up all the time. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, he has a good point. But
Mm-hmm.
with Tiffany, I was like, she just feels confident in like who she thinks the traitors are. And to me it wasn't really traitor behavior. It was just
Right.
like her trying to she's a gamer, like trying to just play the game. And he just took that as like, oh, she is calling the shot. She's like figuring out the exact boot order. I was like, no, I don't really think that that's a good reason to say she's a traitor. It just felt kind of out of left field for me.
No, I agree. And I mostly agree because that's kind of what you expect from your gamers. You kind of expect them to kind of give more than most, right? Like you have
Exactly.
people, I literally have to look at some of their names, like Mark, Steven, John. Like I never hear them talking very much about strategy names, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of want your gamers to be a little more in the game, right? And that's kind of what
Right. And
Tiffany was
somebody
to
needs to
me.
be like leading those conversations, and Tiffany was, but that doesn't mean
Yeah, and
she's
if
like a
she's not
traitor.
right, obviously, but at least she's a gamer trying to figure out the game. Whereas Colton, he's not a gamer, but trying to play the game, and he's just. I just think he was doing bad reads, kind of like all the faithfuls are doing right now. They're just all got bad
Mm-hmm.
reads, and yeah, I guess
Have you
Colton.
heard the comparison of Colton being compared to Dylan?
I have. What do you actually think of that? Because I don't know if I see it as much.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only comparison really is that he is like a very faithful, but I think
Mm-hmm.
he's coming off a lot stronger than Dylan did. Like Dylan had good points and like had a good way of convincing people to believe them, which I guess Colton does too. But if I were in the house, I'd be less likely to listen to Colton than I would to be listen to Dylan because I feel like Colton's pushier
Yeah,
with his agenda than Dylan, who just is like a nice guy and somehow gets everybody on his side.
I almost feel like Colton's egging people on to kind of like see if he can pull their strings a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where I get the distaste a little bit from his gameplay. Versus Dylan was very much nicer and like almost like a little brother in a house type of vibe where he gives his opinion and he's being very truthful about it. Versus where
Mm-hmm.
Colton doesn't like bring off Snake vibe. He just brings off very like outright this is how I feel. Let me egg you on with a few quotes to see if I can trigger you to be a traitor or not. And I don't know. I wouldn't like that.
No, I agree. I think
So,
he's just trying to be like he's trying too hard to prove that he's a faithful that it's like
mm-hmm.
almost backfiring on him.
No, I agree. And it's just funny that most of the people he's talking to are all these quiet individuals, kind of just like, oh, I don't know anything. But I agree with Colton's wrong statement, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Ron's always been is a name right now. Jam Jam's a name right now, and you almost kind of just watch it those two names evaporate for a second, which is just
Mm-hmm.
odd to me. Like you've had these two names for the whole game, and now it's all of a sudden Tiffany, which again that almost brings a red flag to me on like Colton's and like is Colton just trying to stir a pot? You know what I mean? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. There's a lot of the faithfuls are a lot very interesting right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
So we go into the challenge. I actually liked this challenge. They have to find the spheres, and then you basically unshield 10 of your castmates, and yeah, you're basically trying to rack up money by unshielding each other.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the challenge? I thought it was a good challenge. I like the ones where you kind of can dictate who has a shield and who's not. Kind of brings off rivalries or like bitterness.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was interesting, and I think sometimes it's a really hard, like those kind of challenges are hard for the traders to hide. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like this one, like they did a good job of like hiding within the shadows, and like they didn't target each other still, kind of kept each other safe, but like I don't know how to explain it, but like I think it's sometimes it's easy for the traders to get caught based on who they're targeting. In this
Yeah,
case, I don't think they
yeah,
managed.
and that's a good point that I even forgot. Lisa, I almost feel like over-explained herself a lot, trying to prove.
At the breakfast.
Yeah, no, that's a good point you
Mm-hmm.
brought up. Like, she, I mean, she said all the right points. It was just she might have said too much, which actually comes
Mm-hmm.
back at the next episode to bite her a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the challenges are always just like I almost forget about the challenges. Whereas in like Survivor or like Big Brother, I remember them mostly. But like I
Yeah.
almost I don't know. Traders is just interesting to me because I almost remember the roundtables, the turrets, and like the on and off talk times more than the challenges. Because like I had
Yeah.
to write down who got unshielded because I knew I would forget forget.
Yeah, I don't ever remember either. I even
But
forgot what the challenge was even until you explained it. I was like, oh yeah, it was that. And I watched it 3 days ago.
yeah, I do like this challenge though. Some of them I end up not liking, but this one was good. I do feel like with certain ones, like when Tiffany got unshielded, she immediately hit Monet. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, "Damn, you're
Hmm.
that pissed off." And then it was Michael, and then he picked Tara. I was like, "This shit's hilarious." You guys are just going back and forth, like just unshielding
Yep.
each other. Which I mean, if you unshielded me, I'd unshield you right back. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel
I mean,
that.
I would do the same. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
why me over all these other people? Like, what do you have against me? So I would be going right back at them too.
Yeah. The one main point I do want to bring up during this challenge, and I made sure to write this one in caps. So very near the end of this, Candace actually runs up to Lisa, which is very ballsy in my opinion. You're both traitors talking to each other, like whispering in public in the field, and she runs over and is like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, Manette, like, kind of said your name, like." And then you see that big Lisa confessional. She's like, "Oh, what?" It's just so funny. But that's a good this is good trader play in my opinion when you're able to sneakily like have open communication with each other and people can't even figure it out why
Yeah,
like
I didn't even notice that as a viewer, knowing who the traders are. I don't even remember that happening during the
oh wow
challenge.
yeah
I
no
remember them like bringing it up in the turret later, but
mm-hmm. Yeah, it does get brought up in the turret later also, but it's right near the end of it.
hmm.
She runs it's very quick. It's like a 10-second portion of that entire challenge, but it does happen. And I just thought it was very slick of Candace to kind of
Yeah.
inform her other trader, like, hey, you got someone looking out for you.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that.
That's cool.
It is
So
cool.
after the challenge, we have it's real honestly this episode just it's the same shit. So I'm not gonna drag on after the challenge too much, but we literally have Tiffany just being more of an open discussion. She's not really being told by anyone, at least to the viewers' perspective. I know
Mm-hmm.
that after some interviews have happened, I've watched. She did say like Michael let her know that didn't make the airing, but
Hmm.
Tiffany's just an open discussion at this point. Colton's gotten enough people to just kind of be on her about it, and then there's like a portion where he's like, "I got your back, Jam Jam. Like you're fine. Like don't worry about it." And then you constantly see like Canvas trying to keep the run, momentum going. I mean, what? How do you feel about these faithfuls, like their on and
See,
off time
I actually
talks.
feel like Colton didn't have the numbers as much as he thought he did. Like I think he got a few people on his side and like we're on the Tiffany train. I think it's Eric at the round table talking about the laugh that like really sealed Tiffany's fate. Because I think a lot of people were on the fence or like leaning more towards Ron or Jam Jam at that point. But
Mm-hmm.
then hearing that they were like, okay, now there's two people who are like really pushing for it to be Tiffany with like good evidence.
And
Good
I
evidence.
absolutely agree. I think going into it, it was more 40-60, like 60 Ron, 40 Tiffany. And then once the roundtable happens, which we'll talk about, we can kind of just walk into it right now, honestly, because there's not too much going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like at the roundtable, obviously, it's a few names actually. Like Colton, he goes right for Tiffany. He's basically pinning it all on Tiffany. Like, hey, you've done this. You've done option B. I think you're traitor. And then Tiffany on like you can kind of tell Tiffany was not prepared to just get
Mm-hmm.
jumped on. Like you can
Right.
maybe she was told by Michael and like she had a little inkling, but maybe she had zero plan because that's how I felt watching this entire roundtable. That
Mm-hmm.
it was almost like Portia again, like just absolute jumped, no preparation. So and you can she's just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like going like this person, like she had no plan, and I felt bad. Like I was like, come on, it's obviously not Tiffany.
Yeah, I think even if her name was out, she definitely didn't expect it to be out that much.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like Eric kind of kept the laugh thing to himself too until the round table. Like I,
And
at
that's
least I
so
think it
stupid.
might just
You
be editing, but
It could be, but I mean, you kind of watch the roundtable, and then when he says it, everyone's like I maybe they all told him to open their jaws and just be flabbergasted by what Eric has to say, but
maybe.
I definitely think Eric kept it to himself until this last second, kind of like Iran did for Portia, and
Mm-hmm.
I hate that, man. You gotta like all have to be informed before
Right. I
roundtable.
don't understand the point of doing that. Like, what's the benefit of keeping it a secret until the round table? Wouldn't you rather share and like get people on board knowing you're going into that vote with the numbers? I don't know.
Yeah, so they kind of go back and forth with this roundtable. They make good points on Ron. Ron's just not doing himself any justice. I at least from what I'm hearing, he's just being very secluded, not very, out there. He tries to defend himself like, oh, I'm just, quieter. I float to where I'm wanted, blah blah blah. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's you have to remember it's a game, and people are gonna be
Right.
suspicious of you if you're not open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just like kind of sitting back and letting them say his name and not doing a great job at defending why he's a faithful.
I do also want to throw out there the Candace intervention to Tiffany. She tried to intervene, like, "Hey, listen, I've always been on Ron. We need to keep Tiff. Like, I just don't buy it with what you're putting down that it's her 100%." And you can almost tell, like, you can tell this roundtable is just buying into kind of whatever's being tossed out there that is quote unquote fact. And again,
Mm-hmm.
the Porsche vote was, Ron threw out a fact, which again, that one I still believe was good fact. Like you're hearing her
Yeah.
literally basically say she could be a traitor. Like that's
Right.
that's a tough
That
one.
was a mess up on her part for sure.
Yeah. Now Colton is driving a narrative, and then Eric's like, "Oh, I'm blindfolded. I have great, hearing. I literally heard Tiffany's voice," and I'm just like, "Okay, this is like that's crazy. If you thought you 100%, he says 99, whatever. You
Mm-hmm.
think you heard Tiffany's voice, like you knew you were gonna persuade people with this."
Yep.
I don't know. I still think it was dumb. I mean, I guess I've never played in a game like that, so Eric probably thought he 100% heard it. Um, which I just think it would be stupid. Like, I don't think any trader would just be giggling and laughing hysterically out there. Like, I don't know. You almost want to be
I mean, they
quiet.
might have been. I feel like it's. I would feel like I would laugh because just like the whole like if you think about it, you're a trader, right? You have to like put on this big obnoxious cloak and like
Mm-hmm.
go out into the woods and like pretend to murder somebody you're playing this game with. I would be laughing. I
I
wouldn't be
got
able to keep a straight face.
You're just like pointing at them, laughing.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. Like, yeah, you're playing a game, but it's like, oh, let me put on this cloak and pretend to murder you. I don't know.
I get
It
it.
just feels dramatic.
No, that's fair. I mean, we could even bring up the example where Lisa's kind of being an asshole to Caroline when they were killing her. I thought that shit was hilarious. That she's like,
Yeah, that
nope,
was unexpected. I mean,
not
apparent
gonna
I
see
don't
you.
watch Housewives, but apparently that's like how Lisa is all the time on that show. She's
Oh,
just like a bitch for fun.
just whatever. Okay,
Yeah,
well, I didn't know that.
I don't watch, but that's what I've heard.
So they basically do the votes because there's not too much more to talk about, I guess, at this roundtable. I think I every time they show the Tiffany vote, everyone's just like, "What Eric has to say is my vote. What Eric had to say," and it just kept making me laugh because I'm like, it's all these like I don't want to say irrelevant players in the game, but everyone who's just not helping at all are the ones that are like,
Hmm.
yeah, Eric's right. Yeah, sorry, it's Eric.
I wonder
Yes.
if it's because he's a musician that they like listened to him more. Like, I wonder if it was one of the other ones who had said that, like Kristen or something, who would have been like if they had said it if it would have had the same amount of weight because they kept going back to like, oh, well, he has a really good ear because he's a musician, so like he's got to be right.
No,
Um,
I think you're
I'm
right on.
curious if it was that played into it.
No, I think you're right on because like I'm trying to think of a good example of like someone else who could do something like that, like an ice skater, or there's two ice skaters in
Yeah.
the game. Like if something about skating happened and they caught an eye on it and they presented a random factoid that they thought was true, I'm sure they'd jump on the belief train there. Like I can see that
Right.
happening.
Right.
Um, but obviously we end up seeing Tiffany's pretty much everyone was on her except like Candace and Lisa and I think it was Steven went on that one also, but
Yeah.
it was mostly Tiffany. And obviously as viewers we knew what was going to happen, but they were very shocked, which is so funny that they all were so convinced by Eric and then Colton's narrative that it's definitely Tiffany. I
Mhm.
don't know. That was dumb. No gamer
Mhm.
had her back. Like she was screwed.
I know. I was surprised that they didn't try to defend her, but
Yeah.
it's what it is. I think with two convincing arguments, I still feel Colton's argument wasn't super convincing, but I probably would have listened to Eric too.
Yeah, that's tough. If you're going into that, I think this is the hardest part of this game is what is fact and what are people just thinking they hear, or like what are people thinking, because at the end of the day, that roundtable, for example, you're going in and you literally only have like Ron and then Michael and Jam Jam as the backup, and those have been the
Mhm.
names the entire game, and there's not great evidence for any of them, and then you
Right.
just get this fact and everyone's like, oh, finally, like maybe we actually got one. Like that the faithfuls are just not bonding very
Yeah.
well in this game. The traders are loving it. The traders want
Mhm.
you to present a new option and just get rid of them so that they still have shields in the game, and
Mhm.
they got three good ones right now at this point in the
They
game.
do. They do.
So we go into the turret, and I think this is before episode 5 starts, where they kind of talk about, the options they got at their hands. Again, Lisa's getting told, like, I'm an option. And then they end up going into episode 5, and we find out that Manette is the one murdered.
Yeah, I was surprised about Monet. I feel like that's another one that's like I I understand the logic because like I feel like they were getting more vocal, but
Mm-hmm.
still, and like also pretty closely aligned with Natalie, and I feel like that was becoming more obvious. And Natalie's super smart, but I was just surprised that that was the decision that they went with. I feel like they're getting rid of like the beginning they were getting rid of a lot of people who were just like there and like not really vocal and not making moves. But that was like the first one where I was like, oh, that's like actually a big player that they kind of went after. I feel like Monet was doing like a little bit more than some of the other faithfuls.
No, Monet was really good. Like, Monet, to me, like, I knew this was gonna happen when I was watching episode 5, just because I kind of like, you watch, and he was telling Candace, like, hey, it's Lisa, or you know what I mean, and at the end of the day, I think it was a good move to get rid of, like, for Lisa at least. Like, it was a very good move. Like, you just got rid of someone who's definitely thinking it's you, but hasn't been as open yet, which sucked
But do
because
you think it was smart of Lisa to do that? I feel like it wasn't a bad move for Candace and Rob. But if that person's like openly targeting Lisa and then they get murdered, I feel like that just paints a target on Lisa's back.
I only think that if it was an open convo, and I think it was way too quiet still of a
Yeah,
convo.
that's true.
Like Mana got cut before basically he opened the convo is what I'm getting at. Like it was only to Candace and like I think it was it Jam Jam in the car. I think it was like one other person.
Yeah.
And I mean we never even hear
But
about
with
it
how
again.
close they were to Natalie, chances are they also probably mentioned it to Natalie. Natalie and Jam Jam are two people who are not afraid to say what they're thinking and not afraid to put information out there.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, it would be like if I were Natalie or Jam Jam, I'd be using that against Lisa in a second, or against Candace if there's like some way for them to point it back to her, like, oh, we know that Monet also told you this.
No, those are really good points, honestly. Like I just don't, as a viewer in my perspective, I just don't know how much was said yet.
Yeah,
It could come
true.
out. The editing could be like, maybe Natalie's just a little quieted out right now because it's gonna come out. Like, oh, I was
Hmm.
told like maybe it's next episode because Lisa's name gets very hot in this episode.
I do
So,
think Lisa's going to be the first traitor that gets caught for sure. I think the other two are doing a better job at like hiding their identity, where Lisa already has heat, I think, because of the breakfast thing. Like, she covered it up
mm-hmm.
well and explained what happened, but already kind of has some heat there. And now with this on top of it, like, I just think it's all going to catch up to her at some point soon.
No, I think this is a really good convo to bring up from my other episode because my narrative was different in that episode. I thought Lisa and Rob were going to be really good compared to Canvas, but Candace
Mm-hmm.
actually switched, like her whole persona of the game just changed these two episodes, which I think is amazing for her game
Yeah.
because she's definitely blending in with the faithful. Like she's
Mm-hmm.
trying actively hard to save faithfuls that she knows are faithfuls, but they don't know are faithfuls. And once they get presented as faithfuls, I mean, it makes her look good in a way. Like she was right, you guys were wrong. Listen to her more now. Blah blah blah. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely think she's changed her trajectory because at the start it was looking iffy in my opinion. Now it's
Yeah,
Lisa
I
because
agree.
she's
I had low
definitely.
expectations for her, and I was like, this was an interesting choice, but she's proven herself.
I really like Rob. Like he's
He's,
doing
yeah,
very good.
he is. He is. I watched him on Love Island,
Oh boy, here we
and
go.
I personally loved him on Love Island also.
hmm
He's kind of an asshole, but maybe that's what I'm into. I don't know. I thought,
Maybe you like
I thought,
assholes. Yeah,
I guess I do. Yeah. It's,
I'm
I
dead.
don't know. I just like, I think he got a lot of hate on that show when like the girl he was supposedly playing, like I think was also kind of playing him too.
hmm
Um, definitely wasn't perfect by any means, but like probably shouldn't have been on a love show when he wasn't ready to commit. But like I think he got a lot of hate that he didn't necessarily deserve. And on this show, I was like, why Rob? Like, why are we picking him to be a traitor? There's all these Survivor players, all these Big Brother players. Like, this just feels like a choice. But he has impressed me, and I feel like he's actually perfect because he just has this like calm, I don't give a fuck personality that it's just
hmm
like he's just there. People are telling him all this information. He's just like quietly receiving it all, like just so non-threatening in this weird way. And he's just like, yeah, whatever. Like he's just flying right under the radar, but he's a gamer and he's smart
Yeah.
and he has like a lot of valid points that he's bringing up in the turret and stuff, but no one's seeing it. They all just see him as this like quiet guy lurking in the shadows, it seems like.
No, you make a lot of good points because it's kind of my reason why I like Rob. Like he's blending in with the bros, love the house, and he's blending in
Mm-hmm.
with the girls because they like what he has to say. Like you can just kind of tell episode by episode that he's just working everyone very well, communicate very well with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if there was a traitor, I think would go all the way to the end. Right now, it's definitely Rob.
Yeah, I think so
Candace is
too.
definitely up there with me at this point too.
Yeah, Candace has gotten better in my eyes than she was the first few rounds. I think she just
So,
like needed to get her footing.
no, I agree. So, we can kind of go quickly through this first part because, again, it's just kind of a narrative that's just constantly being brought out, and Ron, again, is being discussed by everyone. He
Mm-hmm.
kind of does bring up Dorinda. I will throw that out there, which, I mean, if you are thinking it's Michael already, Dorinda is kind of, you know, inadvertently protecting Michael a little bit there and there, and they show it a little bit near the end of episode 4. But Ron, thinks it's Dorinda, and he's being very open about it, which I think's funny.
I actually feel like Dorinda would like if I'm in the castle and don't know who the traitors are. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Dorinda is a smart move. One because of like just the sheer numbers of housewives, the chance of one of them being a traitor is pretty high to
Yeah.
Michael's point. But also like Dorinda feels like such a random choice to bring back. Like
Mm-hmm.
why I didn't nobody asked to see Dorinda play again. I'm sorry. Like why? So in my mind it's like did they bring her back just to see how she does as a traitor this time? That's what
No,
I'd be
that's a good
thinking.
thought. I mean, I'm sure they're thinking that, and I'm sure that's why Ron probably brought that up more quickly. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
because the only other name that kind of gets brought up around here is Michael, and he's just loud, and that's basically what they're saying at this point. He's not being very
Hmm.
helpful. It could be him because he's just leading these roundtables into a mess. So
Hmm.
there's not too much more here because those are really the only names brought up at this point. Um, I guess we'll go into the challenge a little bit. I like the twist of this one the most, probably I've seen in a while. This is the statue one where they have to go and get 8 statues,
Oh right.
but the twist is they all get realm at grabbing a shield. If you don't grab a shield, if everyone's unscathed without a shield, there's no murder.
And we
So
don't know who has the shield still, right?
yeah, and we have zero idea who these people like they are because they left us hanging dry, which I
Hmm.
make me be skeptical a little bit.
Hmm.
I think no one did, and I think we're gonna see a no murder, but I could be wrong.
Mm.
Do you think?
I think if anybody took it, it's gonna be Natalie. Natalie seemed the most like I want a shield. And Natalie will do what it takes to protect herself first, I think. So if anyone, I think it's her.
That's a good one because that group didn't have any traders in it. I don't think. I'm trying to think. It was Johnny, Natalie, Michael, and I'm forgetting the fourth person. Let me look. Yeah,
I forget too.
I don't think
But
it is
there
a
was like
trader
two of
there.
them who were like, yeah, we should take it, and two of them who were like, no, we shouldn't. I think it
Mm-hmm.
was like maybe her and Michael were talking about. I forget.
Because I know
They
there
were like,
was,
yeah, we should, we should.
yeah, Candace and Lisa were in a group, and they say they didn't. So I know that group didn't, because
Mm-hmm.
they would have said it there. But yeah, this challenge kind of ran again quick through my mind because nothing juicy
Yeah.
really happened here. They end up getting the money and they move on. Basically, I mean, not too much here, and we're kind of living on an edge, seeing if Natalie's group maybe got a shield or not. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now we turn into the shit show of the season, where I don't know. I guess I don't really have an opinion on it because it's just stupid. This whole entire part of the episode's stupid to me. But we get to the point where it's just Colton's again egging on uh, someone, and this time it's Michael, which makes sense. Like you're trying to get Michael to slip up, maybe, but Michael just goes enraged and just turns into a complete monster, basically. basically,
Mm-hmm.
basically going off like you're a traitor. You're a traitor. I think I've heard him say you're a traitor and pointed at someone more than I've ever seen in my life. And I guess that part's kind of funny. Michael's definitely being a
I
little
just
funny.
hate him. I feel like if I'm in this castle, I'm getting Michael out day one just out of like, I can't stand to be around you. I don't care if you're a faithful or a
Mm-hmm.
traitor. I just don't want to spend another minute with you.
I'm
He's just
almost
obnoxious.
I'm almost like floored that they didn't instead of Portia. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like I
yeah.
did again. at that point, it was good. It was good on Ron, like good feedback, whatever. But if you really distaste for someone, you should get them out right then and there. And you can kind of tell half the group is just over Michael, at least more than half at this point, just over
definitely.
him. So I guess we'll just go right into the round table because again, it's literally just those two that I remember. Oh, I guess there was a very awkward combo that I thought was really funny of Ron kind of walking into the talk with Steven and Dorinda, and he's just bluntly says, "I think it's you, Dorinda."
That was random. But at this point, like, what do you have to lose? I guess your name's out.
Yeah, if no one wants to really talk with you, if no one believes you're faithful, you might as well just start playing a little dirty and being front and confident about it. I mean,
just doesn't feel like the best strategy, but that just shows who the strategists are in this game and who are not. I don't think Ron is a strategist.
God, I wish some of the people didn't go. Or like, I liked Donna. I forgot to, when you said Donna, it slipped to my mind. I did say last episode I was really excited to watch Donna, and I was pissed that she went home. I would have been really interested to see if she stayed the secret traitor, like who she would have kept putting up.
Stupid production move to make her the secret traitor because I think it was so obviously her.
Yeah.
I don't. She should have been. Even a regular traitor. I don't know. I feel like she needed to be a faithful.
She did, and I don't know if you felt this. I almost felt like she did nothing to promote herself as a traitor. I felt like everyone just thought she was a traitor from the get go.
Because she loved like the grandma vibes.
Yeah, like she was just quiet.
Must be a traitor because she's a grandma.
And she's probably anxious as fuck around these people. Like she literally says it at the second round table. How I'm around superstars that I love. Like I don't know what the fuck I'm saying sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I was sad to see her go.
So let's get through this shit show round table. So feel free to say how you feel at any point, but
tell us how you feel.
Shit show. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really, it's not me in the round table, so it's whatever, but we go into it and Colton comes after Michael pretty much, and then actually it's the other way around. Michael starts off and goes at Colton and is like traitor, and has this whole spiel, and he says wrong words, which in my POV, I don't think he meant it as much as the community and everyone at the round table took it, but I do think he meant like he's secret, like he's playing this game, he's trying to be a gamer, but it did come off wrong. He should have definitely said some verbiage differently. I'll just definitely say that he was very strong about that it could be taken that way.
Right.
But
I think it doesn't help that it just like happened on the same day that the whole conversation of like, oh yeah, Colton like was on The Bachelor pretending to be straight all this time, and the fact that it just happened on the same day was like not great timing, because I think people are always going to interpret it that way, whether Michael meant it that way or not. But I also wouldn't put it past him if he did mean it that way.
Yeah, I mean he could have definitely meant it a little more than I perceive it, but who knows? But yeah, that round table definitely gets very spicy because of it, and I mean, again, Michael, you hear from other players at this round table, Michael's just not helpful. He's hurting the narrative of what's going on. Sorry if you hear my cats. Fuck, they have just sprinted up and down the stairs 5 times.
My dog is barking at the turkeys outside right now.
So the turkeys. Two completely different problems.
And aren't even in the neighborhood.
But yeah, I mean, I guess there's not a lot that happens at this round table other than this toxic mess of Colton and Michael just kind of going at it, because Colton rebuttals. He's like, listen, my people got my back. If they think I'm a traitor, they would vote me out here, but it's gonna be you. And then you get a few inklings from a few people. Natalie basically says, listen, I've thought it's been you for a while. I haven't been quiet about it, and honestly at this point you're just too much. And then Eric's like, I don't even care, like you're just distracting. Johnny's like, I literally don't even want to be around you, like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I feel like about half of his votes were just like, I'm just annoyed and sick of you. Like, I don't want you here
yeah,
anymore. And not so much like, we think you're actually a traitor. I think it was pretty split.
yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, like, are the traders benefiting from this? Yes, because again, the narrative of Ron comes out, and it's not Ron again. So you always have that shield of Ron, like he's continually in the game and being brought up. Um, where was I going with that? And then the Dorinda narrative kind of comes up from Ron. So I guess you do get a little bit of, yeah, you do get a little bit of that side of the round table, but it's not as big because it literally goes right back to the Michael Colton convo. But yeah, at the end of the day, messy shit show round table. Michael just needed to just. He was never going to shut up, but he needed to just
No.
shut up. And
I'm
obviously,
happy to see him off my screen. I don't want to watch him drink water like a maniac again or like shovel food into his mouth.
I do want to say that shit. That is insane. Who the hell eats and drinks like that? Who?
I've never seen it in my life and I hope to never see it again. I
It,
just,
oh,
yeah.
it's almost like it's like some drunk fuck like just
Or
shoveling
like a caveman.
caveman. Just
I don't know. I can't even do it. I can't even reenact it.
I mean, that's reality TV for you, I guess. Just shit, these crazy people eating and slurping down water, wherever the hell he's killing in his cup.
It was crazy.
But yeah, I'm definitely happy he's done for the Traitors. Fact, Traitors needed him gone. He
Mm-hmm.
just way too much of a problem. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Half the people didn't even give a shit. Like you could tell, there's like
Yep.
peace out. We can
Goodbye.
finally move on with this fucking game. There's a little bit of convo after. I think it's Kristen, Mark, and Eric talk a little bit about Colton being very suspicious now.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, we know it's wrong, but it is a good read on Kristen and Mark's part. Like he is being very outgoing. Like again, playing like that Dylan card, but just more ruthless. I
I think
mean,
all his reasonings for targeting Tiffany is exactly what he's doing. He was like,
yeah,
Tiffany has a plan of like, it's this person and then it's this person and then it's this person. It's like, that's exactly what he's doing. So if he thinks that's traitor behavior when Tiffany does it, it's traitor behavior when he's doing it too.
I
That's what
wonder.
I'd be pushing it back on him.
My biggest thing is I wonder how much backing Colton has right now because I almost feel like the figure skaters could be behind him. Like, I almost feel like the traders might end up being on Colton's side, like Rob's, on Colton's side, because he says it when I guess I was gonna say it in a second, but I'll just come out with this narrative, like the one where Colton kind of brings up Lisa to the group of like him and himself and Rob. I just think this next episode is going to be really juicy is what I'm getting to. It's going to
Yeah,
be
I
very
think so
interesting
too.
because I think Rob's going to have to very much decide what side he's going to be working, and I think groups are going to start forming. I think Colton's going to have a group. I think Kristen's going to try to have a group, and it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be interesting to see if like Kristen loses the battle and then Colton kind of runs to the sunset,
Mm-hmm.
leading the blind, basically. I
Yeah.
don't know. That's kind of where I'm getting the vibe at the end of this episode.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
I do want to bring like more discussion with the Lisa thing. I guess they go into the turret and Rob's like, "Yo, Lisa, like you're again like someone's talking about you," and she's like, "Shit." This is starting to see like Lisa's small downfall. Like she's definitely not working these people enough. She's being a little too quiet, which I get it. You're maybe nervous, like you don't want to slip up,
Mm-hmm.
but you are being a little suspicious. And
Mm-hmm.
again, we'll see. I think it's gonna get juicy with Lisa in this next episode.
I think so too. I think it's gonna turn into a Lisa versus Colton thing.
Mm.
Is how I envision it going. Like one of them's probably getting banished.
Yeah, and we'll see what side wins because I definitely think if like Lisa ends up going, like Candace and Rob's chances of going far go up even more, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
because they're not gonna think two housewives are traitors. Like one, oh my god, we got it. Now Candace is
Right.
100%. You know what I mean? And then
Right.
Rob sticking up with Colton. Now he's in a majority. So like
Mm-hmm.
I could see it going that way, unfortunately. And I liked Lisa. I like her as a character, but I could see it.
Yeah. I think also it's gonna be very telling who they if they do a murder this round. Like
Mm-hmm.
if Lisa does target the people who are saying her name again, it's just gonna put more suspicion on her. So I think
Yep.
Rob and Candace need to be strategic and like reining Lisa in a little bit to not just target the ones targeting her.
I agree. This one's gonna be very like if they do murder someone. If you murder Colton, now this one's the one where I definitely think like, oh, now that's the red flags up in the air.
Right.
This was open discussion with like Jam Jam, and I'm forgetting the other person. I think it was Mara. Is that her name?
Yeah.
The Love Island
Mora
girl.
is Mora needs to go. What is she adding to the show?
Yeah, I mean we can.
I love Mora on Love Island. I don't love Mora on The
Yeah, like real
Traitors.
quick, what is going on? Like you got Johnny. I guess Mark finally is chat a little bit, but like Tara, Steve, like I just want more. Like
Yeah, we're
they're
just
gonna be the
demanding
ones.
from them.
They're gonna be the ones you can just kill, like murder. Like those are the ones you
Mm-hmm.
should just murder because like they are bringing no help. They're just followers to Colton.
Right.
Well, I guess the ice skaters. I will figure it out. I think they are. I don't know, but at the end of the day, like you probably should not murder Colton. You're in my opinion, you're correct. You
Take
need
out
to,
Colton's minions
yeah,
before you take out Colton.
yeah. Definitely keep Ron in the game. I mean, I love it. Every goddamn round table, he's fighting for his life and he's
And
making
like
it.
Jam Jam, I feel like you have to keep him now because his
Yeah,
name still keeps coming up over and over.
those are two perfect ones to keep at round tables. Because in this game, you can never like get rid of that shade. Like if it
Mm-hmm.
comes at the start, you're kind of just born. You're born with it. Now you have to play with it. I'm forgetting who it was last season, but it was like whoever was in the coffin that skated out of that one, and it was the Bella twin that ended up going home. She got
Oh
all the way to like
yeah,
final seven or something, final nine or
yeah,
some
yeah.
shit, and then they brought it back up. They're like, "Oh, you were in the coffin. Let's just get rid of this like
Right,
theory."
right.
So I
I think
definitely,
if they're smart, they should do Dorinda because it puts
mm,
more heat on Ron, which is like the narrative they're trying to push. Because Ron's really the only one who's saying Dorinda's name, and does another housewife, which I think is going to help the housewives in the long run.
that's a great. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, that's a great one.
Pretty smart, Aussie. What can I say?
Addie. Yes, no, I agree, Addie. That I didn't even think about that. That's a good one. I'm trying to think if there's any other good options you could go here other
I
than
think it's
just
either Dorinda or like one of the figure skaters or Mark, who are just kind of like existing at this
yeah,
point, or
yeah,
Steven.
Steven, yeah. No, I agree. I think those would be my catalyst too. Definitely not Natalie. I'm interested to see how her mid game here works. I think she's doing really good. I don't
I do
know.
too.
I just need them to.
Are they? Is it going to catch up to her at some point?
It's probably gonna like if Ron and Jam Jam kind of go in the next episode or two. I think it's gonna be Natalie at some point.
If there's a recruitment, I would love to see them recruit Natalie,
Yeah, yeah,
but I don't know if they will.
yeah. It just depends how many of the traders end up going because like I said, I just think Candace and Rob are like way off radar. Like I feel like there's multiples
Mm-hmm.
of people on the radar before them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean I mean that's the end of episode 5. I mean, do you have we basically already talked about what our thoughts were, so I guess
Mm-hmm.
we could lead into the is there any last like comments? I mean, do you think the traders are going to win this at this rate? Do you think the faithfuls could?
I feel like it's looking like the traders are in a pretty good spot, but I think if they lose one, it could be like a downward spiral from there. So
Yeah.
Lisa's already getting heat, like maybe, but I would like to think that Rob and Candace at least are in a good spot. They just have to be smart about how they handle the Lisa heat, I think.
Yeah, I think I agree. My last episode that I recorded, I stated that I think the traders are looking good, and I still I'm gonna say they look good still.
Mm-hmm.
Also said if I thought a faithful was gonna get to the end and win, it was gonna be Natalie and Monet, and I still think Natalie is doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if I add any more names to it at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had to throw one in the hat, maybe Eric, just because I don't think they'll ever murder Eric at this rate. Um,
What about Kristen? Is that her name? The chef, Kristen.
yeah, I could see her getting maybe murdered at some
Mm.
point. Like maybe if Colton, I don't know. I guess it does. Episode 6 will depend on Kristen for me because I am a fan. Like I do like Kristen's game right now.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe if Colton goes, Kristen sticks around one more. But maybe
Mm-hmm.
if Colton
I do
doesn't
think she's
go,
becoming like one of the more vocal ones, which they tend to target the vocal ones.
yeah, yep,
But we'll see.
yeah. I mean, I think that's a good place to end. Now it's one episode, I think, a week, if I'm not
Oh, really?
mistaken.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of sad. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's like we still have like half a season basically. Are you talking to your
Yeah.
doggy?
She's ready to go outside.
All right. Well, we can wrap
Chase
this
the
up.
turkeys.
I'm out of content for this one. So, thank you again, Adrienne, for hopping on.
Yeah.
This was a
Always
good
down to talk
discussion.
traders.
Definitely thought this 2 episodes were highly interesting, and I biasly am pissed off for Tiffany. So, Tiffany Stan,
Love
always.
Tiffany. I liked her on this more than I liked her on Big Brother.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll just
I know.
exit that one
Hot take.
out.
Hot take. But
But no, that's it for this recording, episode 2 of the 4th and 5th of the Traitors season 4. It's Foate the Goat and Adrienne. I was gonna say Addie. Uh, Aussie and
Cody
Addie.
the Goaty.
Foate the Goaty is out. Let me put my hood up because Traitor cloak is back on. We will we'll see you all next time on the Traitors season 4. Thank you.